Spencer Lazara, MMA interviews. I'm alongside a victorious Mike Rio. A long layoff, very satisfying victory, I'm sure, for you.
Yo, man, I'm extremely satisfied. Don't get me wrong. I wish I would have finished them a little earlier, but you know, take them as you take them as they give them. So I'm happy with the submission I got.
There were a couple takedowns that Joe Rogan obviously said were textbook. Talk to us about, you know, the high-level wrestling that you possess.
Wow, he said textbook. Beautiful.
Single leg, especially.
Thanks, Joe. No, it's just in MMA, everybody has a well-rounded game, and when stuff isn't going your way, you usually revert back to what your basics are, what your base is, and my base is wrestling. So, I mean, I didn't want to. As you can tell, we were trading pretty good on our feet. I think he was getting a little bit better of the trades, so I was like, you know what? Let me stick back to what I'm good at. Let me try to take him back to the ground, hit my single legs, hit my sweeps, hit my anything I can to put him back on the ground and control the situation.
You were controlling most of the grappling, but he was savvy, man. He pulled a sweep out. You know, he was managing to get out of everything.
Yeah, he was playing didn't want to play the jiu-jitsu game with me. He was just pushing off. Every time I was on top, he wasn't trying to jits with me. And it's easier when someone's trying to jits with you because they're pulling you in and they're working what you want, and then that's when you can posture up and throw the elbows, posture up and hit. But since he's pushing away the whole time, every time you go to posture up to do something, he slides right out. So I wish I would have did better on top, like MMA-wise. Thank you, man. I wish I did better MMA-wise, like, you know, with the ground and pound. But every time I tried to give him a little bit of space so I could do something, he slid right out. So, you know, it's, you know, give or take, you know, whatever happens. He
got out of the first armbar. You were obviously, you know, really searching for that victory, being probably down on a scorecards there in the third round. Did you feel that sense of urgency to get that armbar when you finally sunk it in the second time?
Oh, after the second time, I mean, I think it was split. It was 1-1, but in my mind, of course, I'm gonna think of myself losing the fight, and I was like, dude, I am in a situation. I have the arm bar, dude. Let me just rip it off and try my best because I know the clock's running, and see what happens, man.
It was a crazy position. Talk about the position with his arm trying to defend, but his arm actually was kind of helping you crank.
Yeah, he was pulling the armbar back, and he was close enough to, he was just about to slide out of it or rotate out of it, and I didn't want him to rotate out of anything. So I kept my armbar 101 basics. Knees as tight as I can to keep him so he doesn't he has no wiggle room. So that's when I was able to like loosen up my hands a little bit because I had them with my thighs, and I was just able to work and try to like finagle the hand out so I can fully wrench it back.
We'll talk about the satisfaction of this victory with the long layoff.
Oh, man, ring rust is a witch, big time. Just sitting out for as long as I did, not to mention sitting out, whatever the distance I sat out for, half of it was completely sitting out, doing absolutely nothing because I had 2 broken ribs and I wanted to heal them up really good. So just the urgency of getting in there and wanting to fight again, and it finally happening, and it's like, it's not just like me talking about it, it's happening. It was just like, oh man, I can't wait for this to happen. I'm glad it's finally gonna happen, but then when it comes around, you're like, oh, am I ready? Am I ready? Am I ready? Did I train hard enough? Am I ready? Am I ready? And you know, you just gotta trust yourself, trust your coaches, trust your teammates, and go in there and do what comes natural.
All right, anything else you wanna say?
Oh no, thanks to all the fans, thanks to everybody. Thank you to John Cofer. You know, me and him are still really, really good friends, and we get along very well. And you know, let's have a beer tonight if I can find you wherever you're at. So you know, love you, Johnny.
All right, Mike Rio, fresh off his submission victory here at the TUF 16 finale in his UFC debut.